Alright guys, so I haven't posted in about a week now, but I actually had a plan for today, but then of course, Call of Duty had to drop a trailer on me. So we're going to talk about this trailer, as well as just my final thoughts pre-release for Modern Warfare 2019. And this trailer, honestly, I feel like out of the multiplayer trailer, the campaign trailer, and now the special ops trailer, this is the best trailer. I'm not going to say this is going to be the best mode, because, I haven't played it. But out of just the trailers, just from looking at what they show you, no gameplay, this is what got me the most hyped for a specific game mode. Multiplayer trailer didn't really do anything for me. The campaign trailer didn't do anything for me. But this trailer actually makes me want to play this game mode. And I'm glad to see that it looks like, again, this is all appearance, and no one's played this, or at least is allowed to talk about it that has played it. It looks like it's going to be just like the campaigns as far as big set pieces, just like the original Spec Ops mode. We're going to have big set pieces, high budget cutscenes, all the good shit that you get in the campaign, but in the co-op Spec Ops mode. This actually looks great, and it shows off a lot of the gameplay mechanics a lot better than some of the other trailers, I think. But if this is really what it's going to be, 4 players, play with your friends, high budget cutscene, main campaign style missions like the old missions in Modern Warfare games, I think the Spec Ops mode will come out really good. Now, obviously, you won't have survival unless you're playing on PlayStation. I'm sure you know about that by now. But just these missions themselves seem absolutely great. And just to kind of sum up everything about the game so far, this is going to be a short video, obviously, but just to sum up everything before the game comes out, I've played probably about 30 hours of multiplayer, and I am in no way concerned for the multiplayer. But, there's always an exception. If they decide to take realism mode and that big ground war team battle thing, Conquest Battlefield game or whatever that was called, they decided to take those two things out of the game, that could pretty much be the only way they could really ruin multiplayer. But even with that, just with the other modes, I think it'll hold up. I honestly think Team Deathmatch will still have 90% of the lobbies like it always does. It doesn't even matter. But, I think multiplayer will do perfectly fine at launch. The big concern is going to be what they do with loot boxes and adding guns through loot boxes and, all that stuff that they usually add that they've been doing in the recent years. But that's my thoughts on multiplayer. That's the only thing I've actually played. Now, between Spec Ops and the campaign, as long as Spec Ops comes out, looking like this, they don't need a huge story. They just need fun, big set piece, well-designed missions. So I think Spec Ops will also be fine, as long as they stick to this formula that they have laid out in this trailer. My biggest concern is the campaign. I've talked about this before. I like the campaigns a lot. That's mainly what I buy the game for, is the campaign, right? I know I'm in the minority, but I like the campaigns. I spend more time in that than I do in multiplayer, probably. Alright, and this campaign, like I said, it's not that I'm concerned that they haven't, they've marketed it bad or that it looks bad. It's that, for obvious reasons, they haven't shown much. We've seen a decent amount of multiplayer. We've seen kind of Spec Ops mode, what that's going to be, but we haven't really seen with story mode. It's more than just kind of the gameplay. If the story is kind of shit and just lackluster, then that kind of drags down the whole mode, no matter how good the gameplay is. So that is something that can't be determined now. Obviously, it's going to be once you've played through it and you sit down and, if you got to think about it or if there's some twist to it, then that'll come out to be a great story mode. Hopefully it'll be great. As long as this game gets 2 out of 3, I'm going to say we're in the green, right? As long as it gets multiplayer, which I think will be its strongest thing, and then Spec Ops or the campaign, preferably the campaign over Spec Ops. But if it gets 3 out of 3, that's great. Fantastic. But I'm looking for 2 out of 3 here to be in the green, to be above a 5, alright? That's what we're aiming for. Obviously, I'll do more videos when the actual game comes out, but unless they drop some big news, this will probably be my last video before the game launches. Alright, check out all the other videos on the channel, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and stay tuned for more Modern Warfare content when the game releases. See you guys on the next one.